Hey everybody, welcome to let me start that again. Hey everybody, welcome to my 7 secrets for creating your lead magnet. This is the presentation that I'm giving actually in just a few short days, next week on Friday. At SuccessCon that's being hosted by Box Out Marketing, and SuccessCon is replacing ICON or InfusionCon, which was the user conference that Infusionsoft used to host every single year. They did it for about 10 years, then realized that they were spending a lot of money to put on this event, and they wanted to focus inward more, and they wanted more so to focus on their core product. So they have passed the baton, so to speak, to Box Out and other certified partners like myself and them, to put on the other user conferences that are going to be better, maybe smaller, maybe more localized for different people. And this SuccessCon really is the first one of those to come. So it's really exciting, and I am thrilled, honored, and so excited that I have the pleasure of speaking and presenting at SuccessCon next week. So I'm flying to San Diego on Tuesday, and we'll be there all week. So I'm hoping to grab a couple of awesome nuggets of information that I can share with my clients, with all of my Kickstart clients, with everybody in my membership group. So we'll see what comes of it, and I will try to do like some Facebook Lives and email you guys any tips or tricks or anything that I pick up there that I think would be applicable to your businesses. I'll be sure to share that as much as I can. So thank you everyone for getting together this evening to watch my presentation. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. So welcome to the presentation on 7 secrets to creating your lead magnet. The primary goal of this presentation is really, this is for business owners. This is for business owners who need to either create their lead magnet for the very first time, or maybe you're a business owner and you already have a lead magnet that you want to change, or you want to update your existing one. This is definitely for you. You're in the right place. And the goals of this session really are that I'm going to teach you the strategy behind a good lead magnet. I'm going to show you a couple examples, and then we're actually going to go through the process on the call tonight together. Same thing with when I do this live in San Diego next Friday. I am going to physically walk everyone in the room through creating their lead magnet right here, right now. And so, I hope you are ready, and you either are in front of a computer and you can type, or you have a pen and paper handy, because this is going to be very, very interactive, and this is going to be a great session to get your lead magnet up and running and get that started for you. So let's take a minute to state the obvious. Right now, it's obviously Tuesday. It's 7 p.m., at least in Eastern time, which obviously means that it's late. Most of us ended work a couple hours ago, unless you're like me and you ended work about 5 minutes ago. And, I get it. I get that we're all entrepreneurs. We've got a lot going on. We have a lot to do in our businesses. And so for you all to make the commitment at 7 p.m. To be here, you could be working on your business in other ways. You could be creating Infusionsoft campaigns, which we're going to get to, and we're going to do that today anyway. You could be having dinner with your family and doing a whole list of plenty of other things. But I really appreciate that you are here on a Tuesday at 7 p.m., ready and willing to dig into your business and to create something that you can use to market your business in many, many different ways. So you're definitely in the right place, and I promise you that you will leave here tonight. As long as you stay for the full webinar, you will leave here tonight with your lead magnet super, super close to done. If you're a client of mine, if you're in my Kickstart program, or if you are in my membership program, I would be happy to talk to you about all of these later, go over any of the content with you as well, give you the recording to this so you can watch it later, and all of that. So I just really wanted to acknowledge that you guys are here. You could be doing other things, but you're here focusing on your business, and that really is commendable. So thank you for that, and pat on the back to you guys for dedicating the time to do so. So for those of you that are here again, my promise to you tonight is that you will leave this webinar tonight with your lead magnet done, or very, very, very close to done. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Who am I, and why should you pay attention? Why is this important? My name's Jillian Kendrick. I'm sure all of you guys know me anyway, but I'm an Infusionsoft certified partner. I've worked in Infusionsoft as a user or consultant for about 8 years now. I call myself a business success strategist because I help clients achieve that success in their business. I own Informed Marketing Solutions, which is the name of my company, and my primary business is that I do coaching and consulting for business owners, for Infusionsoft users, and for entrepreneurs. And I want to talk to you right now really a little bit about my business, but most importantly, just why you should pay attention is one of my more recent success stories. So I have a client, her name is Emma, and Emma has a website. She has products to sell, but she was only selling these products to the early adopters on her list. So other than a few YouTube videos, maybe a blog post or two, she really didn't have much content on her site, and she was missing an opportunity to serve and engage the leads that came to her site or Facebook page or wherever. She was missing that opportunity to engage with them for the leads who weren't quite ready to buy. So Emma needed a way to provide value to her leads before they actually spent any money. And that's how we came about creating a lead magnet for Emma. We created this lead magnet and delivered it via a follow-up campaign inside of Infusionsoft. This campaign runs on autopilot and gives Emma's leads value up front. And in a way, it gives Emma's leads kind of a risk-free glimpse into what it would be like to do business with her, or what the goal or what they can expect to achieve when they do business with Emma. And really, at the end of the day, that's what your leads are looking for. Anybody who comes to your website, ultimately, that's what they're looking for. Like, it's great that you might list, we've been in business for 20 years, we've done this, we've worked with this person. But at the end of the day, all somebody truly, truly cares about is, what can you do for me? What's in it for me? What's the benefit for me? And so giving someone a lead magnet and providing them with that glimpse into the value that you can give, the expertise that you provide, and what it would be like to work with you, it's really immeasurable, the kind of impact that something like this can have on your business, let alone the fact that once you create this thing, whatever it is, whether it's an audio, an ebook, a PDF, a checklist, that entity will always exist, and you don't have to duplicate it, right? We can't duplicate ourselves. We can't duplicate, there's no such thing as cloning, but we can hand out this PDF to anybody who wants it. We can give that access to that audio to anybody who wants it. And so they can get that glimpse into what it would be like to work with us. We can provide value up front to the leads who maybe aren't quite ready to buy. So let me go ahead and ask you guys a question. Is there anyone here, and you can type this into the chat. I'll get my chat up real quick. Is there anyone here listening tonight that already has a lead magnet for their business? Like a lead magnet, an opt-in, whether it's a video, audio, PDF, checklist, something like that. Is there anybody who doesn't have one and actually wants to create one tonight? Okay, so we've got a couple. So Dan, hi Dan, thank you so much for being here. So Dan says, not yet. Adrian, thanks for being on. Adrian says, yes, you have an ebook that's a PDF. Super. Tiffany, thanks again for being on as well. I haven't heard from her, but she says, no, not yet. Well, super. So we've got a good mix of people who are here tonight that, one of you has a lead magnet, and maybe you want to just see if you're doing the right thing, or maybe you want to update it based on what we do tonight. And then for Dan and Tiffany, this is a great opportunity for you guys in your business to create your lead magnet right here, right now. So that's awesome. And that helps me just to know where each of you are at, so I can kind of direct my language to fit your needs. So thank you guys for that feedback. Super. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the different secrets. So this is, of course, again, the 7 secrets for creating your lead magnet. And secret number 1 is that your lead magnet needs to be in a format that your audience will consume it. So you really need to know your audience well enough to understand what it is that they're looking for. So maybe in Adrian's case, I don't quite know your business, but if you have an ebook, to me that would say that your audience likes to read, that your audience, excuse me, that your audience, enjoys receiving information in that way. Somebody who creates an audio, maybe they, obviously those would be more auditory people. More visual people would like a video or a PDF or something like that. If you have people, and we can think about that in the terms of those learning styles. So there are 3 different learning styles: audio, visual, and kinesthetic. The audio and the visual are pretty straightforward, but kinesthetic people means that they like to actually do. They like to get their hands dirty. Those are the people that like to play with Legos, right? And so a kinesthetic person or a kinesthetic learner might appreciate a checklist or something like that they can actually take as an actionable item. Whereas an ebook or a PDF might be better for the visual learners, or a video might be better for the visual learners. An audio, pretty straightforward that it would be better for the auditory learners. So you might want to think about that and just think about what format is it that your audience is going to best consume that technology in. Secret number 2, and this one's pretty straightforward as well, but your lead magnet needs to be consumable within 15 minutes or less. And I say honestly, the jury's kind of out in terms of what that timing should be. Some people will tell you 5 minutes, some people will tell you 10, some people will tell you more or less, this and that. But I'd like to say that it should be about 15 minutes, about 10 to 15 minutes. Anybody, no matter how busy you are, no matter what you're doing in your business, anybody in the world should be able to give you at least 10 to 15 minutes of their time to look over the value that you're providing to them. Also, if you can deliver a quick win, something that's actionable or something that gives them that aha moment, that light bulb moment, that value within that 15-minute time frame, you're definitely winning and doing it right. Secret number 3 is that your lead magnet needs to solve one problem and only one problem. And this might seem straightforward, but as entrepreneurs, as creative people, as people who are cursed with what we call the curse of knowledge, it's very easy for us to know our business and to say, well, I'm just thinking, for instance, what will be a good example of that? For instance, florists, you could talk about one type of flower. You can get into all sorts of genuses and species of different flowers, and you can go on, and you can start to tangent off about so many different aspects of the business and so many different pieces that you kind of forget that you need to stay focused. So your lead magnet really, really needs to solve just one problem and only that one. Another example that I give is say that you're in the market of like selling pet food. Well, if you're selling pet food, you might also want to talk about vitamins, but you wouldn't necessarily talk about visiting a veterinarian, or you wouldn't talk about pet health. You might talk about it in terms of the health that the food can provide to the pet. But there's so many things that we can say and talk about and tangent off, and we know so much about our business. It's really easy to just kind of go in one direction and then you go off into another direction. It's really, really important that your lead magnet is focused and will only solve one problem that the customer has. Secret number 4, your lead magnet needs to coincide with the mission of your business. And this really is about clarity. So Marie Forleo always says a confused mind won't buy. And there really should be no disconnect here. If the mission of your business is helping clients through a divorce, you're not going to talk about weight loss. If the mission of your business, like for Tiffany, for instance, if the mission of her business is to take people on tours to Europe and show them a really, really great time, well, she's not necessarily going to talk about the quality of the buses or the airplanes. That's a factor in her business, but at the end of the day, like, nobody really cares about that sort of thing. So it really needs to be laser focused with your mission. And that kind of coincides too with the solving of one and only one problem as well. Secret number 5, your lead magnet needs to be catchy and needs to be clear. So I found that the best way to be catchy and clear is to use quantifiable language. Numbers and statistics really help our brains to focus on things and to make them more interesting. So it's one thing for people to say, or actually Dan's business is a really good example of this. So for Dan, it's one thing to say that, oh, our power meters really, really help out your business. Well, that's true, but that's not quantifiable. But if you can tell somebody, our power meters will help reduce your waste by, 40%, or, I'm making this up, but whatever it is, that's quantifiable. Like, that's real hard numbers and language that people can kind of attach the value that you provide to the number that you're giving. And so when it comes to keeping things catchy, and also it gives that clarity that you're not just giving that overarching phrase of, oh, a lot of people think this, or a lot of business owners have found that. But if you can actually quantify that number and say, 40% of our clients have seen I don't know, I'm again making this up, but if you can say 40% of our clients have seen a 32% decrease in their power waste, and it's resulted in a net profit of plus 5% or something like that, that's clarity right there. That's real hardcore numbers that people can assign to the value that you are providing as a business or as a service. And that's really, really important. Secret number 6, whatever your lead magnet is, needs to deliver on what you promise. So for instance, my lead magnet, the 7 secrets to crafting your perfect offer, or the 7 secrets to creating your lead magnet, is actually, originally it was going to be in audio form. And this is the visual example that I have, is my iPhone showing the ability to play that MP3 on my iPhone. And so that's a visual example of exactly what it is that they're getting. And that too, that kind of ties back into one of our, I think it was secret number 2, that says, where we were talking about the different learning types. If somebody is audio, if someone's an auditory learner, they're going to be drawn to downloading an MP3 or an audio. So they're going to be drawn to the visual of this iPhone. Whereas if somebody is more visual, if somebody wants to read a PDF and maybe you show them a picture of a book, or you show them a picture of a PDF or like a download link or something like that. Or if it's a list, maybe you actually show them a picture of a list or a stack of papers. Show them something visual that they can attach to what it is that they're going to receive, and then you can deliver on whatever it is that you're promising to them. So, and this might seem really, really simple, but if you're giving them a PDF, don't show them that you're giving them an audio, right? Pretty straightforward, but I cannot tell you how many times in the last 8 or so years that I've been working in internet marketing, I cannot tell you how many times I have seen people promise PDFs and it's actually an audio, or promise an audio and it's actually an ebook. It might seem really dumb, but deliver on what you promise. Secret number 7, research, research, research. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but know what you're talking about. Double check your statistics. And really importantly, not only to test and research the material that you're putting into your lead magnet, but it's important to research and test your lead magnet once it's created. Test it with friends, test it with colleagues, see what the response is to it. For instance, I had created my 7 secrets for crafting your perfect offer. I created that audio, and it took me a long time. I worked so hard. I worked nights on that thing. It was like my child. I was so proud of it. And then I had shared it with a colleague of mine, and she said, Jillian, that was really great. You did a good job. However, and this is where the visual part comes in, she said, I was listening to it and I was really craving something to look at. I was really craving like a visual to go along with what it was that you were saying. And I said, oh, well, isn't that interesting? Okay. So then I ended up, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I ended up creating a PDF, an audio, and a video version of my lead magnet. All 3 of them that I could hand out depending on what it was that somebody wanted to see, or what type of a learner somebody was, if they wanted it in a different format. But definitely make sure that you're researching and that you are testing what it is that, exactly, spelling errors, highlighting things, something, and my spelling error right there. Thanks, Dan. It happens. So I did say that I would give you 7 secrets, but I do have a bonus secret, of course. It really wouldn't be an Infusionsoft conference. It wouldn't be an Infusionsoft webinar without something related to Infusionsoft and marketing automation. And the bonus secret is, don't forget to follow up. And I know that's really easy for some of us to do, especially some of us that are new to Infusionsoft and maybe aren't used to doing a lot of marketing automation. But even if you follow up and just 2 or 3 emails, that could make all the difference for a lead that is just getting to know you and just learning about your business and all of that. And we'll go over that, excuse me, we'll go over that in a little bit of detail towards the end as well. So just to recap, the 7 secrets is make sure it's in a format that your audience is going to consume it in. Make sure that you can present the information in 15 minutes or less if possible. Make sure that it solves one problem. Make sure that it matches your mission, that it's catchy and clear, that you're delivering on what you promise, that you research. I did spell that right. Okay, good. And that the bonus secret is that you are following up with with your audience and with the people that are downloading and consuming this content, because really at the end of the day, that's what this is for. You're creating the lead magnet so that you don't have to duplicate yourself. You don't have to duplicate the process. You can hand this lead magnet out to anybody who is interested in potentially doing business with you. And then as they become more interested and they warm up to you, then you can, take that process depending on how you do sales and whatnot. So now that I've given you a lot of strategy as to what a lead magnet is, I want to show you guys some examples, and then we're actually going to dive in right here, right now, into working on creating your lead magnets tonight. So a couple examples here. The one on the left, I like a lot. I love the visual because this is very clearly, she says that it's an ebook. I'm assuming it's a she, but they say that it's an ebook, and they are showing you a visual of a book, and they are delivering what it is that they promise. Also, the 10 best makeup and beauty secrets for women over 40. They're using that quantifiable language by saying the 10 best secrets and then women over 40. So they're specifying this is the thing that's for this specific target audience. I really love that. This looks great. Only thing that I would fix personally is it only asks for the email address. I would put first name, but that's just me. The example on the right, four Facebook ad mistakes that are losing you money. Losing you money to me is like an instant grab of my attention as a business owner. If I can, obviously I want to make money, but if I can save money in any way, that's really, really important to all of us. So that's really important. That grabs my attention as well. And then it's saying 4 Facebook ad mistakes, and then it lists visually number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So it's giving you, so it's not necessarily saying, it's an e-course, so it can't really give you a visual of a course, but it is saying 4 mistakes, and then it gives you a visual of kind of like folders, I guess, of what it is that you can expect, and gives you a little bit more detail on each of those. I really, really like this one a lot. Another couple of examples. On the right, we have Sam Bennett, who's also an Infusionsoft certified partner. She teaches creatives and creative writers how to market and how to be business owners. So procrastination domination starter kit, that's a pretty good one as well. But I really love the one on the left here, the cheat sheet for writing blog posts. Now, this one isn't quite a good visual representation because the image on the left is a book, whereas this is saying you get a cheat sheet. So there's a tiny bit of a disconnect there, but I mean, cheat sheet, book, paper, at least it's not showing you like an audio or a CD or something like that. So they haven't quite hit the nail on the head, at least for me, but it's somewhat close. And this is really more or less to give you guys an example of what other people do and what's possible. A couple more examples, just real fast. Tony Robbins, everybody knows who he is. Take your life to the next level. Download your free gift edition of Tony Robbins, Reawaken the Giant Within. Download your book now. See, this again isn't like a great visual because on the left it's showing his video, but he's saying download your book. It's also asking for first and last name. You may or may not want to do that. The example on the right is pretty good though. So a free guide, even if that's a book, that's okay. And, click to receive your complimentary guide. I like that one a lot. And visually, it's really, really nice. And I appreciate as well on the bottom here, if you look, it also says it includes plus weekly advice, no spam, unsubscribe at any time. I really appreciate when people create opt-ins and they say, we will not spam you. Unsubscribe at any time. And plus, the plus weekly advice, that is giving them a note of and setting the expectation of what that follow-up is going to be like. They can expect to receive a weekly email from this company with the advice that they give. Awesome. So now that we've gone through a couple examples, let's actually dive into building this thing. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through what is your business, what's the product or service that you provide, what is the end result that you're giving to your customers. We'll look at the way that we're going to lay out everything, the format in which we're going to lay it out. We'll actually go through the creation process, and then I'll show you a quick example of a delivery campaign that I've used for my own lead magnet as well. Another thing to note also, especially for the two of you guys that are here and you don't have a lead magnet, always know that version 1.0 will always be better than version 0.0. So you might go through this exercise and think, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, or maybe you don't quite hit the nail on the head the first time. That's okay. That's why we do this. It's an exercise. It's a muscle, the exact same way that we have to walk or work out every single day. We kind of have to flex those marketing and creative muscles as well. So let's dive into what is your business. And again, make sure that you have either your notepad and pen handy. I have a notepad here, and I'll be walking through the exercises with you guys as well. Make sure that you have either the notepad and pen handy, or that you have like a Word doc or a notepad or something open on your desktop, and you can go ahead and write this out. So who are you? What is it that you do? And for some people, it might be as simple as saying, well, I'm a lawyer, or I'm a nurse. I unfortunately, I, as well as probably most of you guys, don't really have the luxury of saying that, I have a one-line title of my business and everyone under the sun knows exactly what that is, like lawyer or doctor or nurse or fireman or something like that. You might have to explain it in a little bit greater detail. So what is your business? Even to write out the business name, go ahead and write that out. And you can just say, I am a blank. So what do you do? What is your business? If you want to share, you guys are welcome to type it into the group chat as well as write it down in your notebook. And there really are no wrong answers. Awesome. Next, let's think about the product or the service that you provide. First, let's determine, is it a product or is it a service? It might be both. For me and my business, I do consulting and education, so mine is more service-based. I technically sell products, but not really. What's the result that you're driving them towards? For Tiffany, who runs a tour company, the result that you're driving them towards might be the vacation of a lifetime. It might be an opportunity to travel that some person, hasn't had in the past, something like that. And think about this in terms of the end result that you provide for that client or the customer. So are you driving them towards, for Dan, it might be, are you driving? And Adrian, actually, if you want to tell me what your business is, I can try to give you a couple of examples too. I know Dan and Tiffany personally as well. So it's a little bit easier for me, having worked with them, to know their businesses in a bit more depth. But, for Dan, it might actually be selling them that I forget what the piece is. We just did this campaign last week, right? But it might be selling them that, and then the result that you're driving them towards is lower costs, better efficiencies, reduced power waste, reduced power outages, stuff like that. Marketing technology consultant and educator. Awesome. Yep. That's great, Adrienne. Thank you for that. So your lead magnet is going to be a stepping stone towards your bigger offer. So you want to think about, you want to create your lead magnet with the end in mind, knowing that you are, this is the opportunity to kind of lead them to water is really what this should be. Let's just talk about those results. So what is the end result that your product gives or that your service gives to your customer? Or what problem is it that you solve? Adrienne says, I'm a marketing technology consultant. Ooh, we should talk. An educator working primarily with small to mid-sized agencies. Super, that's great. So the problem that you solve might be helping business owners navigate the waters of technology in their business, or to kind of help put them at ease with using technology in their business. Whereas a lot of people, a lot of business owners, even ones that I talk to about using Infusionsoft, are hesitant to do so because learning a new software takes time, takes effort, takes money, takes energy. And then you have to get the whole company's buy-in, in order to really make it work. So it can be very difficult. So what is that problem that you solve? For Tiffany, yours could be first-time travelers who don't know how to plan a tour outside of the States, something like that. Now I want to show you guys a basic layout that we're going to be working with tonight. So you know that the subject of this talk this evening, the subject of the presentation that I'm giving at SuccessCon next week, is my 7 secrets to crafting your lead magnet. So I want you to take a version of that. And obviously, since tonight we don't have, hours and hours to sit and list 7 or 8 or 10 things, let's just keep it really simple and list 3. So I want you to actually write on your piece of paper or type in to your Word doc or Google Doc or whatever, 3. So we're going to do 3 tips, 3 secrets, 3 guidelines, or 3 mistakes. Remember that example that we had when I was showing you the couple of examples, the 4 Facebook mistakes that every business owner makes. Mistakes is a really good kind of buzzword to use for creating your lead magnet. So whatever you want to do. So the three secrets to planning your European vacation. The three secrets, the 3 technology secrets, or the 3 technology tips that every business owner needs to know, maybe. The 3, for Dan, it might be the 3 mistakes, or the 3, the 3 mistakes every warehouse makes, or every factory makes, when it comes to power, when it comes to their grid, when it comes to, I don't know. I don't know your jargon. Anyway. So think about that and go ahead and write that out for yourself on your notepad, your Google Doc, whatever it is. 3 blank, to do, or for, or with, and then insert the result. Whatever the result is that you're driving them towards, this is what they want to achieve. So 3 secrets for running Facebook ads, 3 guidelines to learning Infusionsoft, something like that. I'll give you guys just a minute. Okay. So let's consider format for just a second. So we've written the title, whatever, and guys, feel free to type in the chat if you want to share your title with everybody. I think that would be great. Let's think back to that consumable, the consumable format. Let's think back to those learning types. What are you writing? What is it that you want to write here? Do you want to write a to-do list, a guide? Are you writing a script because it's going to be audio or it's going to be a video? Maybe you can choose what format you want it to be in. I know, Adrienne, you said you already have an ebook. So maybe if you have an ebook and that will satisfy like the visual learners, maybe you want to create an audio, or maybe now you want to create like a to-do list or a guide of some sort that would kind of satisfy those people that like to have, actionable items, something like that. So kind of write to yourself on your notepad real quick. Do you want this to be a script, a list, a guide, a video, an ebook, a PDF, something like that? And again, feel free to type in the chat and share with everybody if you'd like. I'll tell you guys real quick, I specifically chose to do a script because it's a lot easier for me to have these bullet points and to sit and record myself and then edit down and pare down my recording than it was for me to sit and type all day. It's a lot easier for me to talk and get my thoughts out in that way than it is for me to sit and type. So it could have as much, so the format and the thing that you're going to write could have as much to do with your learning types and your audience as it does with the way that you like to process information as well. So let's look at what your 3 tips must have. And this is more or less a reminder of the strategy that we went over just a bit ago. It should match your mission. It needs to lead into your offer, and it needs to solve one problem. So so Tiffany, I think Tiffany is on the right track. If you're doing a list of tips for tips is great too, for 3 tips for why you should visit the islands. I would even specify what type of islands. Are you talking Virgin Islands, Caribbean, technically New York City is an island, right? So like what specific islands, get really, really specific about what it is that you're talking about. It matches your mission perfectly because you're a tour company. So I like it. And then it does solve one problem. So that's really, really good. Dan says he's working on the guide. I like it. Very good, guys. Adrienne has 3 ways marketing technology can help you win new agency clients. Beautiful. Oh, you guys are awesome. Oh my gosh. Please fly to San Diego next week and be in my audience. But yep, just make sure it matches your mission, it leads into your offer, and it solves one problem. So you guys are right on track. Very, very good. So let's actually go through those three tips, or the 3 guidelines, or the 3 ways marketing technology can do this. For Dan, it might be the three guidelines for buying a power, that thing. For Tiffany, the three reasons why you should visit the Virgin Islands, something like that. So let's actually go through the process of writing those 3 tips. So I want you to write on your notepad or your Google Doc. I want you to write 1, 2, 3 right on top of each other. And then let's actually take a minute to write those tips. Great. And remember, this really goes back into, like we were talking about, what is your business? What's the service or product that you provide? What's the value that you're delivering to your clients? That's what each of these are going to represent. So you have an item, or you have a tip, or you have a guideline, or you have your 3 ways of 3 ways marketing technology can help you. So you have your three helpful points. What are those? And feel free to type in the chat if you guys like. So the way that I did mine, and I'll be happy to share my PDF, my video, my audio, whatever you guys want. I'm happy to share mine with you, so you can kind of take that as an example as well. But in my PDF and in my audio, I would list, similar to what I did here tonight. Here's the tip, or here's the secret. Secret number 1 is, and now let's talk about it. Secret number 2 is, and now let's talk about it. Secret number 3 is, okay, and now let's go ahead and talk about it. And even for now, because again, we have a limited amount of time here, but you can go ahead and kind of start to bullet point that out. So Dan says, you must measure your power quality and not guess. Absolutely. I love that. Relate power quality events to your production loss. Brilliant. And then use a good quality power meter. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome, Dan. Very, very good. So excuse me, guys. Once you have your 3 tips, or your 3 ways, your 3 helpful points, your 3 guidelines written out, then now we can go ahead and take that and we can bullet out the rest of it. Or you can sit down with those 3 things in mind and you can start to write that script. And then I would highly recommend, and this is truly what I did when I created my audio. I have video and audio editing software, and it's something that I actually enjoy doing. I enjoy spending my time doing something like this, but I took the time to actually go through that editing process myself, because I wanted to make sure that I was basically the quality control, and that everything went the way that I wanted and sounded the way that I wanted. And so I spent a lot of time editing, but that was really important to me. But maybe, if for instance, I hate making graphics. I hate it. It is one of my least favorite things to do. I also am not blessed with a visual eye to make good looking things like that. So for me, it was really important for me to hire somebody on Upwork.com or Fiverr, Fiverr, to create my PDF, to create that visual, because that's not who I am. That's not my strong suit. So go on Upwork or go on Fiverr and hire, an audio editor or a PDF creator or a graphics designer or a video editor or somebody who can help you for a relatively low amount of money. I'd say probably like $100 or less, depending on the length. You should be able to hire somebody to help you get this created pretty easily. I did say that I would show you how to deliver this in Infusionsoft. So pretty straightforward. We would create a landing page in Infusionsoft that would give them a glimpse of what it is that they were downloading, would give them that visual, would tell them, this is going to be the three tips for doing blank, the 3 secrets of planning a great vacation, the 3, whatever it is, and then give some statistics on why it's important, what it is that you're offering, and then would have the opt-in right there. So it would be the first name and then email address, and then inside of the delivery sequence, we would just simply tag them that they have downloaded the product or the lead magnet. We would actually deliver it to them, whether it's a file that is uploaded as an attachment into an Infusionsoft email, which can be done, and I'll gladly show you guys how to do that. Or if it's hosted on like Google Drive or Amazon S3 or Dropbox, or hosted on your website, wherever that is, you would deliver that to them and then go ahead and add your follow-up sequence in there as well. So just to wrap up, when creating your lead magnet, you want to think about what it is that you do, what's your end product or service, what results are you providing them. You want to give them that glimpse into what it would be like to work with you, or what they can expect to achieve from working with you. Consider your format, create the product, and then deliver it. So thank you all so much for being on here, again, for dedicating the time to committing to your business. I sent this invitation to plenty of other people, and you chose to show up and be present and to make things happen to propel your business forward. So congratulations for that. Thank you all so much for being on with me this evening. I hope that this was valuable and educational, and thanks, Dan. I'm so excited to know you all and to be working with you guys. So if you have any questions at all, if you want to go over the content together, if you want to, help moving forward, I'd be glad to go over any of this with you guys, either in our membership or on one of our calls. So hope you all have a fantastic evening. I'm going to go eat dinner. I'm starving, but have a lovely evening, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.